We're in Lab 14, the sensory lab. In this lab, we're going to study the eyes model from the outside to the inside. So you need to be familiar with these structures. And let's look at the eye model. So the eye model looks like this. This is the outside view. And you can see this transparent area, this is the cornea. And this is the sclera, this is the opaque part. And outside you see 4 muscles. So totally there are 6 muscles. And there are 4 you can see here, and 2 oblique muscle here and here, superior, inferior. And you will see them later from the different view. And that's the iris, give you the eye color. And that's the pupil. Pupil is the opening created by the iris. This is the side view, so you can see those muscles. And now you see the oblique muscle. So this is the superior oblique muscle. And this is the cranial nerve number 2, optic nerve. And this is the cornea, this is the sclera. And when we cut it open, it looks like this. So this is the inside layer, that's the posterior chamber. So this part, that's the retina. So it's a piece of paper. And on the retina, you have the blind spot. That's the blind spot. And this is where the blood vessel and the nerve go in, go out. That's this part. In the posterior chamber, most of the structure is this one. This is called the vitreous humor. Vitreous humor is like a gel. So its main structure is mainly made of water. It's 99% water. So its main function is to maintain the structure of the eye. And you can see about this mushroom and the ciliary muscle. So ciliary muscle, its function is to pull the lens and change the curvature of the lens. So now let's look at the side view of the eyeball. So that's the anterior part, that's the cornea. And number 2, that's the anterior chamber. And that's the opening created by iris, so that's the pupil. Now you see the lens, that's the lens, so you can change the curvature. And 21, this area, this is called the ciliary body. So that's the muscle to pull the lens. And this whole mushroom, this is ciliary body. So 19, it keep going to become the 21. This is a whole ciliary body. So from the posterior view, this is ciliary body. And this is the posterior chamber. And the inner layer, that's the retina. That's a piece of paper, retina. So number 35, that's the fovea. Fovea is the area in your retina give you the sharpest vision. And that's your optic nerve, cranial nerve number 2. So number 36, that's your blind spot. So in whole this chamber is filled with the vitreous humor, the gel structure to maintain the structure of the eyeball. And in the anterior chamber, number 2, there's the aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is like water. Now let's go to Lab 15. Lab 15 is still the sensory lab, but this lab we talk about the ear. We're going to look at the ears model. So you need to be familiar with all this structure from the outside to the inside. So let's look at the model. I put the model structure here. So this is your ear. This is your ear canal. So the sounds moving from here. From this part, that's the starting point of your inner middle ear. That's the tympanic membrane. And these are the 3 ossicles, malleus, incus, and stapes. So this part are your inner ear. That's your eustachian tube. That's the tube go to your throat to balance the pressure. And this part, that's the inner ear. So your inner ear have the semicircular canal, vestibule, and cochlea. And that's the vestibular cochlear nerve. So cranial nerve number 8 will go to your brain. So now let's take this part out and look at the structure. So it looks like this. Your middle ear, your tympanic membrane, and 3 ossicles. Malleus, incus, stapes. And you will connect with the inner ear. So inner ear have semicircular canal, vestibule, and cochlea. And number 15, that's the vestibular cochlear nerve, cranial nerve number 8. So that's another view of your inner ear. So these 3 pretty clearly show you semicircular canal, and this part is the vestibule, this is the cochlea. When we cut the cochlea, take it out, it looks like this. So that's the inside structure of the cochlea. And now let's look at this part. In this part we have a model, and the picture look like this. So this part is called the organ of Corti. This is like a retina in your eyes. So organ of Corti, you have hair cells, and these cells have hair. These are the hair cells. They are like the rods and cones in your retina. And the hair cells are sandwiched by two membranes. This is called the tectorial membrane, and this is the basilar membrane. So I call this sandwich. And this structure is the organ of Corti. So when the sound comes and the liquid flow in, and from the bottom part flow out, it will move the tectorial membrane and the basilar membrane. It will bend the hair cells. And when they bend the hair cells, these hair cells gonna release neurotransmitter, and the ganglia cells gonna pick up the signal and trigger the action potential. So this structure is the organ of Corti. Okay, so these are the two labs.